Nike got
Mm-hmm.
the judge to halt the Satan shoes distribution by the Misfit company. Mischief, yeah. How do you feel about it?
I mean, I don't really feel any ways about it. I think it's like a double standard because that same company released the Holy Water shoes last year, which was it's like the polar opposite of the one that Lil Nas X has. That shoe didn't have the only difference is that shoe didn't have an ambassador attached to it, and these sold out in minutes.
Yeah.
But I think because of the public outcry and as controversial as it was, Nike didn't want to be associated with all of that because, people were saying we're going to boycott Nike and blah, blah, blah. Nike like, shit, we had nothing to do with that.
We had nothing to do with it.
Mischief he's a shoe designer. He redoes like all types of shoes, like Pumas and stuff like that. And a lot of custom, shoe designers take shoes.
Is that legal?
And redo them. I mean, if you own the shoes. But it's called dilution.
If you own the shoes.
Dilution, right. So if anything, it's all about like what law was broken. You gonna sue somebody. What was the violation? So if anything would be dilution, would be what Nike's claim would be is that you diluted a brand and then you repurposed it, resold it. Other than that, it's just like
because the way of the rollout was that these are Nike shoes. So it's like, okay. So Nike must have had a hand in.
No, Nike made the original shoe. The shoe designer bought the shoes and he redesigned them. So this is the thing. If they go back and remake this shoe in the next 2 months and just take the Nike logo off, it's still gonna sell out.
Yeah.
So just go back and just redo the shoe.
And I was very early on. I was very critical about the whole shoe thing because I felt like, okay, now. I get the video. I approve. This is what it is. However, like the Nike shoe was always like a little red flag for me. So I was like, I hated to see that happen to him. I hated, and I hate that he's like, that he was talking about it. He was like, oh, they're trying to shut us down, this, that, and the third. But it's like, no, I mean, Nike is they're trying to take their name out the situation. Because
what's funny about this though? I think I saw this conversation on Twitter too. If it was Travis Scott. If it was Lil Uzi, Lil Wayne, or any of these other rappers or whatever, that tinker around with devil imagery or whatever, esoteric energy, like it wouldn't have been a problem. But because it was Lil Nas X and the controversy with him in that video, I think that's why all that's happening. But all press is good press at this point.
Yeah, and I think also because he is, like you just said, like because he's an ambassador, with the whole thing with the holy shoes, they didn't have an ambassador to do that. They had it with Lil Nas X, and Lil Nas X brought attention to it. So I guess this company was able to sell those type of altered Nike shoes for the longest.
Shoes. They made over $500,000.
Yeah, people were buying them. It would have been cool if he would have just did like merch with it or designed his own shoe. I think that would have been, it still would have sold out, but like I said, people are talking about we got to boycott Nike. They already was trying to boycott Nike when they did the whole deal with what's his name, Kaepernick. So they're like, look, we're not trying to get in hot water no more. Like
Nike's. So during the boycott, this is the funny part. During that whole boycott with the Colin Kaepernick thing, Nike had one of its best quarters in 10 years.
Well, I mean, this is a distribution that Nike put out themselves. I don't think there was a conversation about these Satan shoes to Nike. I felt like that if that would have been had, then they would have got we'll allow it, we'll disallow it. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like there needs to be some level of professionalism as well when it came to the situation. Wow. You are a big name. Lil Nas X, you are a big name. So
start suing all of these designers that redesign shoes, man, if that's the case.
Well, yeah, it's probably going to open up hopefully we'll love for energy to be kept. And this will open up the floodgates to other situations like that.
It's a stunt. It's just a stunt for Nike to save face because they just don't want to lose in it. They don't want to.
But can you blame Nike though?
I blame them. I mean, you already got paid for the shoe.
So they were getting a check. They were getting a commission from this.
How you think they got the shoes? He didn't steal them from Nike. He had to buy them.
Okay. Well, he bought them. I mean, he bought them as a customer, and so,
he bought them. It's like being a vendor.
Having a conversation, it goes a long way. Actually, talking to the company.
So for me, I have a t-shirt brand, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I am going to use Hanes shirts,
okay,
I'm going to go through my vendor and I'm going to get those shirts, right? I'm going to purchase those shirts. And then I'm going to customize them. However I want to customize them, I'm going to put them on my site and then I'm going to collect my check. That's how that works. So for people who specialize in customized shoes, it works the same way. They get a wholesale vendor,
mm-hmm.
They buy their product, they customize it, and then they resell it. That's what Mischief does that's what he does as a designer. Okay. That's the nature of the business. It's not let me call you and say, hey, I'm about to redo this shoe and let's work out a deal, blah, blah, blah. No, I've already purchased the product. I purchased it.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to customize it and then resell it. It's just how that's just normally.
I get what you're saying, but I don't know. I just think Nike's a little bit different of a company than Hanes though, because Hanes. I mean, whatever. I mean, it is what it is, but this happened, so. This
is about Nike protecting their brand from the controversy. It has nothing to do with the business of customizing shoes. There are several other designers that customize Nike shoes all the time.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
In order for them to get the shoes, they have to buy it from Nike.
I get it.
This is about Nike separating themselves and being brought into national controversy around the shoe, which is also tied to the video of the imagery of the shoe.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't see this same backlash when they had the Holy Waters. You didn't see the same backlash when they had redesigned the Nike shoes and they did the full diamond Nikes. It wasn't the same. You hear Nike complaining because they already got their money.
Mm-hmm.
So for this particular incident, it has nothing to do with doing business with Nike. It's about protecting their brand from the controversy that's happening surrounding this particular shoe. That's what I was like. The designer, like if you take them to court, there was no law broken. The only thing you can do is claim dilution. You diluted my product, and that's a penalty of $25,000. Cut them folks that check and go on about your business, or stop the distribution of the shoe, remove the Nike logo,
mm-hmm.
and resell the shoe.
All right.
It's a big deal for people who can't afford to shoot. But it ain't that big a deal. Nike ain't gonna miss out on no money.
We know.
But yeah.
I mean, I would have loved for him to just do it like, just do merch. That would have been like a lot easier.
He still can. He has an album that's coming out. I mean, I'm sure he's gonna have album merch.
Mm-hmm.
This summer when his debut album drops. So he'll be fine. He ain't got to come out of no pocket.
Yeah, I mean, he's not the one getting sued. I mean, this is that company.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll just see how that plays out, however that plays out. But I still feel that, if that's what Nike wanted to do, they wanted to disassociate themselves because of that. I don't like that's what they, that's their choice. Anyway, let's move on.